as a therapist, how do you approach situations where a client shows discomfort with something you've said or done, and he may consider ending the therapeutic, relationship between you guys. So
Correct.
how do you, analyze that, and how do you maintain that?
This is actually a process called rupture, wherein you've actually built the rapport and it kind of breaks off, or it has a kind of obstacle in therapy when either they don't like something you've said, or they're being difficult, or rupture even happens when sometimes you miss a session, because we also have to draw boundaries and we are not feeling the best. And they may not like it. They take it personally, like, how can she not show up for me? So this is a very, very common thing, and ruptures happen in any healthy relationship. So I think if this would happen, definitely apologize, because at the end of the day, that's not what you mean. So something that I would do is show genuine empathy and talk about it, because it's very important for especially people pleasing clients. They've never had the conversation in their life where they have to be stern, where they have to draw boundaries. So I think this gives them a very good model to have healthier conversations and solve conflict in a better way. So I think if that is the case, then it's something that you can easily work through with them. If it doesn't work through, which is also a possibility, there is something called a referral. So not all therapists can work with all clients. It's normal, it's common. It's like how not all partners will get along. And that's when you give a referral to people and to visit another therapist. And that's just part of the process, finding a therapist who's a good fit for you.
So talking about the situation where you were like, okay, not even, we don't feel good every time. We are also not
Yeah,
in the right place every time.
yeah.
So let's talk about that once. How do you prioritize your own mental health? And we are talking where you're in a career where, you have to listen, observe, and provide solutions for really emotionally challenging situations, right? And you constantly hear about them. So how do you prioritize your own mental health?
Right. Great question. I don't think a lot of people ask us this, because we're always focusing on the client. Very few people ask us how we feel, because it's a one-way relationship, right? In terms of empathy, they are not responsible to make us feel good. It's our job to kind of show up for them. But I don't know if it's common knowledge, but even therapists have their own therapists, because we all carry baggage. We all have something that we haven't dealt with, and we can't be a good therapist unless we deal with it ourselves. So
Okay.
almost every therapist, if they're in practice and they want to be healthy for their clients, has their own therapist to deal with their own issues as well.
Okay, well, that's really interesting to know. Even therapists have their
Yes.
own therapist. Wow,
Yes.
wow. I genuinely I had no idea about this. Genuinely, I had no idea
Yeah,
about
we
this.
do. We
Wow,
do.
nice. Um, since you have to constantly hear about emotionally challenging situations, right? So you are willingly putting yourself in that position, right? So
Yeah.
what made you pursue this career? Like, what did you find different in this?
That happened very early for me, surprisingly, before I even knew the concept of psychology, because I happened to go to a school counselor, and that counselor held space for me. And for the first time, when I was really young, I saw an adult taking me seriously and treating me like
Okay.
an equal. And I was
Okay.
like, okay, I want to be this person when I grow up. I want to do this for other people, because I didn't feel that safe with any adult in my life professionally. And when that happened, I kind of knew that this is somewhere I want to go. And there was no looking back. I think after that, everything just fell into place. And I honestly don't see myself doing anything else right now.
Okay, good, good. So,
But
as you can see, mental health is not a big thing here in India. What do you think? What role can companies like Now and Me can play to promote the mental health awareness campaigns? Like, what can we do?
true. I think a lot of mental health companies which have started, including Now&Me, always play the most obvious role of reducing the mental health stigma, because people talk, right? And the
Hmm.
first way to reduce stigma is talking about it. That, oh, like, I found this app, try it out. I think that is a very obvious thing, but something that people miss out is that Now&Me holds space for people.
Hmm.
They don't judge you based on your gender, your caste, your religion, your age. I have had clients coming in for the expert chat that I do on Now&Me who have also been 40, 50 years old, and who have also been minors sometimes, who have also been 18, 17. So I feel like there's no judgment. There's no barrier to kind of finding a safe space, which I think not a lot of people are able to do in therapy, because a lot of therapists have their own age limit. A lot of therapists have their own concerns that they deal with. Apps like this make it easy for people to show up for themselves in the most normal way that they know, through their phone and through technology, as you mentioned. And I think specifically for Now&Me, if I had to say something, would be that uh, it allows people to be anonymous, and that reduces a lot of pressure. Because a very big thing I encounter with clients is, thank God we're having sessions online. I would find it very difficult to come and speak to you in person. So Now&Me is even taking that away by saying, don't even give us your name. Just vent your thoughts out and talk. And
Hmm.
also, something I really personally liked on the app was the fact that we had tagged all the conversations. So if you feel like you're facing a family problem and no one gets it, just go to that tab. Someone must have said something related to it. And then you feel like you're not alone. So I feel like that sense of community, that sense of there's nothing wrong with me, that doesn't come very often when we speak to people. It only comes when we connect through technology. So I think it's been a great change, which was required.
Thank you for such sweet words here. Thank you. Community angle really helps because ये तो श्योर है कि मैं उस प्रॉब्लम को लिखूंगा सर्च टैब में तो कुछ तो कोई ना कोई शेयर करता
Yes,
ही है. And
yes,
personally, I have also, encountered the same thing. I was struggling with something and I was like, okay, what to do? And I was like, okay, let's go to the community tab. And I went
yeah,
there and they were already talking about it. And I found so many solutions. It was
true.
mind blowing. I was like, nahi bhai, मैं सही company में काम कर रहा हूँ. We are really solving a problem here,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
It's a good thing.
And
Well,
also, there
thank
are
you.
so many comments. There are so many people responding, which I genuinely didn't expect. When I first logged in, I thought like people would just went and over. But I've seen on some posts there are like up till 50 comments of people giving advice or sharing their opinion or saying, hold on, it'll get better. And that's so heartwarming to hear as someone who's going through something. You don't get it a lot. So I think it's very
Yeah,
necessary.
yeah. It's like a community supporting each other.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. What have you learned from the Now and Me community, from the app? What have you
So
learned specifically, which
non-judgment.
will be there?
Non-judgment. I didn't even have to think of that answer. I think the fact that no one knows who anyone is, but they're still not judging and helping out. I have not seen that anywhere, because people, especially Indians, we have a habit to kind of probe and ask personal details and be like, "Can I DM you? Can I text you?" But I don't see that a lot. I feel like people understand boundaries. People understand ki no one wants to DM. People just want to vent out and want to know how to move about the situation, how to navigate the problem. And I feel like that non-judgment and safe space that a lot of people have provided without even knowing the other person, I think that's something I'm really going to take back.
Okay, well, that's interesting. And that was really quick.
Yeah.
Really quick. Wow. Okay, thank you. So let's move on to the rapid fire segment, right?
Okay.
We have a rapid fire segment for you.
Okay.
And it will be an 8 question round. Okay.
Okay.
And you really don't have to think here. You just need to reply. ठीक है जो भी दिमाग में
Okay.
आता है बस बोल देना है. ठीक है.
You're making
So
me very nervous, but we'll try.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Um, so let's begin. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I think being invisible, because a lot of the times we just don't want to be seen. We just want to go in our own zone. But because we're such social animals, there's always someone who'll check up. And that's good to some extent. But I think being invisible is good for your own space. That's it.
Okay, interesting. Um, Best advice you've ever received.
Be yourself. Don't try to change for people.
Top 3 words to describe your coaching style.
Compassionate, warm, and welcoming.
Nice. That's really sweet. Biggest challenge you've ever faced as a mental health coach.
Drawing boundaries. My emotions and the client was a little tough in the beginning, but through supervision, we all work through it.
Experience teaches
Yeah.
us everything. Yeah. Yeah. Um, What's your favorite Now and Me feature?
The anonymous venting.
I knew it. I knew it.
Definitely.
I knew it. Um, would you rather travel to past or future?
None.
Okay, that's really interesting to know. If you could only listen to one music your whole life, which one would it be? Would it be?
Do you want a song or an artist?
Both.
This is very daunting because now suddenly I've forgotten everything I listened to. But One Direction, it was my safe space growing up.
Same though, same. One Direction
Thank
as well.
God.
One word for, what's the most rewarding thing in this career?
Um, Saving a life. I know that's not one word, but
Okay, that's good. So let's wrap this up. That was the rapid fire questionnaire.
thank
We've got answers for all the 8 questions we had, and
thank you.
yeah, let's see you in the next video. That's all for today's episode. Thank you for tuning in. And if you really like the video, do you see a button here? Here, yeah, right here. Yeah. Why don't you click it? No, no, why? Click it, click it. Anyways, and also you look good. You look really good.